Degrassi, Chapter 1, The New Kid, Part 1. We rolled up in our SUV in front of the doors of the school. There it is, Degrassi, I thought to myself. I was really nervous. I fixed my red shirt and my tan pants and made sure I looked good. I fixed my yellow beanie hat and put my shades away, revealing my sparkling blue eyes. I put my long black hair that goes down to my waist over my shoulders and moved it out of my eyes. I took a deep breath and smiled and headed in. I headed into the office to meet the principal. "Hello," I greeted a man. A man greeted me. "You must be Megan, our new student. I'm Principal Simpson." I stood up and smiled and shook his hand. "Call me Meg," I said. And we walked into his office. I sat down in front of his desk and he handed me my schedule that also had my locker number on it. "Here at Degrassi, we don't tolerate inappropriate behavior." He showed me a sheet that had what was acceptable in Degrassi and what wasn't. I looked at it. "No holding hands in the hall?" I asked him. He nodded. I kept reading it. Wow, this school was strict. I smiled and nodded. "You won't have any problems with me, sir. I'm a very well-behaved student. Always have been." "Good. That's what I like to hear." He stood up, and so did I. The bell rang. "Well, Miss Laufenberger, on your way to class." I smiled to him and headed to my locker. On my way there, I see a group of people standing at it. I approached them. They stopped talking. Hi. Ugh. Excuse me, you're standing at my locker." There was this goth-looking boy and a short girl, with short curls in her hair, and a boy who was wearing a puke green skater's hat. They all moved aside, and I continued to my locker. "But I need a quote that will blow the minds off of people," I heard the goth one say. "Eli, what's wrong with the ones we gave you?" the girl asked. "They're not empowering enough. I need one with emotion and feelings and suspense. It needs to say, 'This is who I am.'" I turned around, getting my books, and said, "How about, 'I carry on my shoulder this baggage that I show. Go on and leave me be, for this is how it goes. I am alone, I am proud, I am safe, I am curious. I am knowing, I am kind, I am shy, but my brilliance is always showing. This is who I am, accept me or reject me. This place where I be, I am forever me." They all stared at me. "Oh, I'm sorry," I said and walked away. "No, no, no," the goth kid said and chased after me. "Yeah, that was brilliant. Who says that?" I paused and stared at him. "I do." They all looked at me. That's amazing. I'm Eli," he said, sticking his hand out. I'm Meg. I'm new here." "So you're the new kid I was told we were getting." "I was told we were getting a new kid." I stared at the boy with the skater hat. "I'm Adam, sorry." He smiled. He had the most adorable smile I've ever seen. I smiled back at him. Boy, I sure do have a problem smiling a lot when I see a cute boy. Yeah, people's hobbies are talking about me behind their back. Adam laughs. I smile at him. Then another bell rings. "Well, Meg, we gotta get to class," the girl says. I smile at her and look at my schedule and head in that direction. After a couple of classes, it was lunchtime. There was a group of people looking at me. There both were beautiful girls, and then there was Adam. Then I hear my name being called. I look over and start to walk in that direction. "You two called me?" I asked. They nodded and looked over at Adam. And I smiled and waved and said, "Adam, right?" "Yeah." He did a cute half smile and I mentally freaked out. "Hi, I'm Imogen and this is Fiona," the girl with the blue shirt on, said as she pointed to another girl with a blue shirt on. I waved at them. Nice to meet you two girls. Who are you having lunch with? Imogen asked. I shrugged. My brown bag. Imogen and Adam laughed while Fiona chuckled. Have lunch with us, Fiona said. I smiled and said, sure. Wow, people here are so nice. That's Degrassi hospitality. I giggled and smiled at Adam. He smiled back. On the way to a table, I run smack into someone and fell on my butt. Oh my god, I am so sorry. I pick up my lunch. It's okay. This guy with red hair and a yellow shirt. I wasn't getting this uniform color at all. I smile back at him. He brushes himself off. He smiled at me. I'm Tristan. He stuck out his hand. Meg, I knew. I shook his hand. I've been told. I smiled and said, word spreads around here fast, doesn't it? He shrugged, and two other girls with yellow shirts came over. Tristan, you okay? The blonde one asked. I smiled at them both. The blonde one smiles back. Hi, I'm Meg. I'm Maya. I looked at the brunette who was giving me a stare down. I frowned at her and arched an eyebrow. That's Tori, Maya said. I shrugged and said, okay. You're new here, right? I nodded, and then I started to walk over to where Adam and Fiona and Imogen were. Wait, where are you going? I looked back at them and pointed to Imogen. They waved me over to where they were. I look at Imogen and Fiona and Adam, and then look back to Tristan, Tori, and Maya. They wave me off, and I smile. I smile at them and wave back, and wave bye to Adam. He waves back. After lunch, I was at my locker. I put a little mirror in my locker and frowned at it. I put a little mirror in my locker. I look at it and frown. I didn't really like myself that much. I sigh. Why am I not good enough? I say. Then I hear, hey! I shut my locker, and right next to me was Adam. Hi! Giving yourself a little pep talk there. He asked. I just smiled. Say, hey, I got a coupon for free cappuccinos at the Dot. Would you maybe want to go there? Are you asking me out? I ask him. He tilts his head from side to side. Yes. He smiled. I looked serious at him. You don't even know me. He frowned. Are you turning me down? No. I'll meet you there at 7 tonight. I smiled and walked away. Halfway down the hall, I yelled, don't forget the coupons! He smiled and nodded. At the Dot, I waited for Adam to show up. I had my iPad playing 21 Guns by Green Day. Then I felt a tap on my shoulder. I looked to my left and see no one, then to my right and see Adam smiling. Hello, I said. He laughed at my goofiness. He turned to see the person who was serving us and said, 2 cappuccinos, please. I looked at Adam and smiled. I'm glad you asked me out, Adam. He smiled at me. Really? He chuckled. Yeah, you're really adorable and nice, and so far, you don't think I'm a freak. Well, most of my friends and I myself are weird. But be careful, not everyone in Degrassi is so nice. Our cappuccinos came. I nodded. I think someone named Tori doesn't like me so well. I took a sip of my coffee. Oh, so, Meg, where are you from? New York. Oh, really? That's where Fiona's from. Really? That's cool. Yeah, why did you decide to move here? No choice? I frowned. The truth was, the foster home was here. So I had to leave because the last family I had did not want me anymore. I nodded. Yeah, by force. He smiled at me. Well, tell me about yourself. I sighed. I sighed and told him the basics. Told him I'm weird, and I like it. I love to be myself. I love to dance and write, and draw, and well, listen to music. Told him my last name was Laufenberger. I know, I'm boring. Boring? You're not boring. I'm having a great time. Well, those are my hobbies. What about you, Mr. Adam? He told me his last name was Torres. He liked to hang out with his friends and play basketball. I used to perform for like halftime shows at basketball games in my old school, I said. He smiled, which made, and I made an awkward face. He laughed. So, this is gonna sound really fast, but do you want to be my girlfriend? Maybe. I say in a mocking way. He laughed, and so did I. I nodded, but little did I know that my life was going to change forever.